Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again. In this video, I'm gonna be doing a ranking of every single Grim Reaper album. I did actually make a mistake in my review of the third album, where I stated that there were 4 albums. There's actually 5. I just found out today, earlier today. I was listening on the podcast app on my phone. I was listening to an interview with Steve Grimmett. This interview was, I think, last year, I think, or the beginning of last year. I'm somewhere. No, it was actually the near tail end of 2018 that the interview was, and they were talking about the newest album to be released called At the Gates. And like, wait, I thought the newest album was Walking in the Shadows. But yeah, I honestly didn't realize that there were 5 albums. Yeah, so, and then later today, not too long ago, like an hour or so ago, I did listen to the newest album. Um, and yeah, so, alright. There were 5 albums, 5 to rank. So at number 5, in my opinion, the worst Grim Reaper album is their second album, Fear No Evil. It sounds like a classic Grim Reaper album, but I don't know. There's just something missing. I think every single one of the songs is extremely boring. And there's this. I can't remember which song it was, but there's this one song that has the weirdest intro to it, or one of, if not the weirdest intro to a song I've ever heard. Like, and it's just so weird. It's like I'm pretty sure the person whoever wrote that intro into the song was not sober at the time, because it's just so weird. Like, it was like I can't remember word for word how the intro went. That's how non-memorable the entire album was, but it was something along the lines of, like, there was a conversation between 2 individuals, a father and a son, where like the son was like, "Oh, Daddy, why can't I stay awake like the other kids? How come I have to go to bed?" And then the dad was like, "Because you have the mind of a child and the body of you have the mind of a child and the body of an adult." And I don't know, it was just bizarre, like because it was just a weird experience, because like listening through all these songs, like, oh, I'm so bored, like, this is just boring songs. Then that intro was like, what is going on here? Did I click on something else? Did I click on an audiobook for some reason? Like, I don't know, it was just weird. On top of the album being boring, it just has a really weird intro to one of the songs. And I don't know, it's just bizarre. And yeah, the album's pretty bad. But it sounds like a Grim Reaper album, though, so I'll get to that. Yeah, but See No Evil is at number 5. At number 4 is their newest album, At the Gates. Yeah, there's only one song on the album that I enjoy, and that's not Knocking at the Back Door. And that song's really, really good. But unfortunately, the rest of the album is bogged down by horrible modern production. Plus, it just doesn't have the sound of Grim Reaper album. It actually sounds more of like a generic modern heavy metal album. Other than that one song that I mentioned that I do like, Knocking at the Back Door. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just a victim of um, basically just modern production, and how, like I've said before, how modern production can really kill an album. And yeah, I don't know. The only reason I didn't rank it as worst is because I do really like that one song. But yeah, that's at number 4. At number wait, no, it's a number yeah, number 4. At number 3 is uh a one that really surprised me. Walking in the Shadows. Like, okay, here's the thing. The first half of the album is amazing. The first 5 songs are really, really, really good. But it just drops off after that. Like, after like the 5th song, it just really sort of spirals down and becomes like the rest of the album kind of sounds very like a generic like with the majority of At the Gates, like the bottom half of the album of Walking the Shadows kind of starts to sound like a generic heavy metal, modern heavy metal album. A little less so than the almost entirety of At the Gates, but I don't know. But yeah, I rank this just a little bit higher because the first five songs are actually really good, even though they don't quite sound like classic Grim Reaper. Um, but yeah, have to say my favorite song from Walking in the Shadows would definitely be was it called Wings of Angels. But yeah, it's not bad, at least for the first half. The first half is actually really really good. But yeah, that's at number three. At number two, I know a lot of people who are fans of this band are going to be like, "Why is this at number two and not at number one?" But number two is, of course, You and Hell, their first album. Now, I do really like this album, but it is kind of patchy in parts. Like, there are only really two absolutely amazing songs on this album. Like, the title track, "See You in Hell," and then "All Hell Let Loose," was just the closing track. And then Liar's a pretty good song. "Wrath of the Ripper's" pretty good. But then you get some okay songs like "Now or Never," "Run for Your Life." And then it's mixed in with some really terrible songs like "Dead on Arrival" and "The Show Must Go On." So yeah, I mean, it is really good. Although the only reason I put it at number two because it does feel uneven a bit. Like it feels like a bit uneven. It feels like maybe if the track listing was swapped up a bit, it would feel a lot more cohesive. But it's still a really good album. And definitely, in my opinion, the best album art for a Grim Reaper album, and the best design of the Grim Reaper on any of the album arts. Um, but yeah, it's an amazing album, just not my particular favorite. But yeah, it's at number two. And at number one is my favorite, and in my opinion, the best thing they ever put out, "Rock You to Hell." This is a way, way, way more balanced album than "See You in Hell." They did, in my opinion, they did improve on their very few faults that they had. There are very few faults and flaws that they had on their first album. Definitely a redeeming album, considering that their second album was pretty boring. But yeah, what a great album! Like, there's only two songs on this album that I think are pretty bad, or not pretty bad, just meh. Like "Suck It and See" and was it "Lust for"? No, "You Wish That You'll Never Been Born." Those two songs are meh. They're not terrible, but they're meh. But the rest of the songs are amazing. "Rock You to Hell," "Night of the Vampire," "When Heaven Comes Down," "Rock Me Till I Die," "Wasted Love," and "I Want More." This definitely apart from the lyrics of the title track of the first album, this definitely has the best lyrics. Um, their lyrics on their first album was a lot more fantasy driven, especially with songs like "See You in Hell," "Wrath of the Ripper," and songs like those. But I mean, yeah, there's like fantasy driven songs on here, like "Night of the Vampire," and honestly, that's it. A lot of these other, majority of these other songs are more down to earth songs. Like "Rock You to Hell" is like basically like a song about um, basically shrugging off the negativity that gets drive towards heavy metal and metal in general, and sort of like just like counter striking it with words instead of actions. You know, instead of like going out there like wringing someone's neck, you just fight back with words. You know, um, but yeah. Love it. Night of the Vampire also, it's not too heavy on lyrics in terms of like really good lyrics, but I mean it's still really good. I think it's more good musically than lyrically, but it's still really good. I'd say my favorite songs in terms of lyrics are definitely "Rock You to Hell," and then of course "Rock Me Till I Die," which again, it's similar to lyrically to Rocky to Hell, but this one is about more of like Rocky to Dies. Rock Me Till I Die is more of about is about basically people's love for music, especially people who are fans of heavy metal and rock and roll. Uh, Basically, their love for music and how they will always love it and basically always cherish it, and how if someone tries to take it from them, they will do everything in their power to prevent that. Um, but yeah, definitely my favorite album. Again, definitely has my favorite songs in terms of both musicality and lyrics. And just Steve Grimmett's voice is definitely perfect. He's definitely perfected his vocal style on this album compared to the previous two. The first one, and the second one. Definitely uh, an almost near perfect album, and my favorite. All right, so that's it for this ranking, and also my only video for today, just because it is very late. Um, Not late for me, but late for me in terms of like uh, uploading videos. I don't really have the energy later on in the evenings to upload like maybe more than like one video in the evening. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.